Well, hey, everybody, if you've been a physical therapist for 10 plus years, have you looked around and said to yourself, what's going on right now? Like, what's happening? Like, this isn't the way it used to be. This isn't the way it was. I mean, I graduated in 1992. Things were pretty consistent from 1992 all the way to about, 2020, basically. Started to shift a little bit around 2018. But right now, we are in, like, the new tomorrow. And that's what this podcast is all about. Obviously, I'm in a new studio on Meg Business Management. This podcast and this YouTube video is not going to be about us, other than me saying to you, we're rebranding, we're refocusing, we're reshaping everything we do, because we recognize, after me surveying over 20 physical therapy private practice owners just like yourself, and 15 of my business associates, people who run businesses helping people in private practice, I have tabulated all of those discussions, and I've come to the conclusion that it's time for me to send a message to you about how we can shake ourselves up and stop thinking it's all about getting the next new patient, treat the patient, discharge the patient, get another new patient, treat the patient, discharge the patient. If only I have more new patients, my practice will be so successful. That is not the ingredients. That is not the recipe to success. That is not it. It encompasses so much more than that now. We're in a new tomorrow. And I want to try to define for you what I think you can do to thrive in this new tomorrow, and give you 4 successful actions right here, right now on this episode that you can start really creating on. And if you need help with skill development, like developing the skill of the application of these 4 successful actions, just call me. I mean, I'm happy to just be friends and talk over the phone for an hour and just kind of like hear where you are, hear what your challenges are, and hopefully give you some coaching advice. Just that. I don't want anything in return. I don't want you to pay anything for that. Just get the conversation. And from there, put it together as to who's going to help you best and what's going to help you best, and make the best decision for you. So enough of that. That's what it's all about. Let's talk about this new tomorrow. Number 1. The 4 successful actions, or the 4 key elements, or the 4 challenges that need to be met to succeed and thrive in this new tomorrow is, number 1, identify where we are. Where are we? I feel like I'm like shouting at you, but I'm really not. I'm just excited because I really was, I sat on this for a couple months, and I was working with a young gentleman who's in college, and I was training him in life and in skills on how to do things here on the farm and how to be functional. And I was just so struck by the way he looked at life and the way he evaluated his self-worth based on likes and posts, and just, oh my gosh, if I could have thrown that phone in the creek, I would have had a much better 8 weeks. But it's such a part of their life. And so I started to step back from that and say, well, how is that trickling down into our world? Well, so many of us evaluate who we are and where we are based on the perception of others, based on how others perceive us. And that's not right. That's not right. Your self-worth and your value to others is based on the merit of your ability to serve others. I wake up each and every day, and whether I'm having a good day, good week, good month is interdependent upon how many people I've helped, how many people I've served without asking for anything in return, just an exchange and abundance outflowing. Is that your message? Is that your theme? Is that how your patients see you? Are those the reports you're getting on those patient surveys you have? Are you, number 1, becoming a retail provider in physical therapy? Not just a medical provider. Are you just focusing still like this is like, 2016 or 2008, where you're just all about getting that referral, getting that physician to refer somebody to you? It's not about the referrals, everybody. It's about the being. It's about the people in your community. Let them worry about getting the script and referral that they need to have their third-party payer pay for their services. What your job is to rank number 1 on the Google search. I mean that figuratively, not literally. Well, of course, it'd be nice to be number 1 on the Google search. If I search physical therapy Spokane, who comes up first? I mean, all the people in Spokane are like, maybe. But my point is, when they think of physical therapy, do they think of you first? When they talk to their neighbors and friends and coworkers, do they mention you first? I was in the grocery store one day when I had Cypress Creek therapy and I was in Maryland. And this was my day of arriving. Like, I felt like I really arrived as an owner because here I am holding my groceries. I'm in the checkout line and two senior citizens are speaking in front of me. And one asks the other, hey, my husband's coming home from their total knee replacement or total hip. I can't remember which it was. And he's going to need some physical therapy. I know your wife had therapy. I think it was, that she was talking to him and your wife had therapy. And, he says, there may be a waiting list, but it's worth the wait. If you can get yourself in Cypress Creek therapy, you're not going to regret it. They're excellent there. They take good care of you. They handle everything for you. They take care of all the admin, and they really educated us on our insurance, and we really had a wonderful therapy experience. The therapist was fantastic. They followed up with us when we were done, and they even had an aftercare program. So when we were done with therapy, we were to come back, 2 to 3 times a month just to do some, continued fitness and wellness there. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was so proud. I'm wearing my, this side, I'm wearing my Meg shirt and I'm proud of my company and what we do. But I was wearing my Cypher shirt and I was holding my groceries so they didn't see it. And I didn't want them to know I was the owner. But I want you to have that experience. That's what I'm talking about. What are you doing? What are you cultivating in your practice to be the retail provider? Look, I had 12 clinics within 2 miles of my office, and yet we won Practice of the Year in 2011. We were the number one practice in the country out of 35,000 practices at that time. But I wanted to be the number one practice in my county, in my community, in my town, and of course we were. Are you? And what does it take to be that in the eyes of the consumer? Not the referral sources. Yes, of course, we want them all to think of you first. I'm not saying leave them behind. But I'm saying, aren't we there for the patients first and foremost? And then aren't we there to persuade the referral sources to look at us and what we do and how we do it and why we do it as a leading contender as to why they should entrust their patients in our hands? Are we doing and saying the right things? Like I used to say to the doctors all the time when I would go and do a lunch and learn, I would say, think of us as an extension of your arms when sending a patient to us for your patient care. The same high quality and same nature and same degree of attention to detail that you're providing to your patients here in your office, we will provide to them as well, for you, on your behalf. And we have no hesitation on calling you, emailing you, texting you, whatever mode of communication, pigeon, bottle, note in a bottle, whatever you need, to be a team player on this patient's care for the greatest outcome so that they can achieve the highest level of function possible. Our goal isn't to meet our short and long-term goals on the plan of care necessarily. Our goal is to ensure that that patient has achieved optimum health, that they end with us at a higher level than they were even before their condition began, whatever that may be, surgery, non-surgery, whatever. Let's do number one. Let's start changing our plan, our strategies, our approach to be a retail provider of healthcare services so that people are shopping us, like I said, in every aspect, with every referral source, every patient referral, every peer, coworker, family member, neighbor, charity group in your community thinks of you first as the premier provider for the services that you're providing. That takes effort. That takes charity. That takes you focusing on serving others as your primary function, not trying to procure others for the value of the green paper and dead presidents you're going to get. That is not the reason why we do what we do. So, number one, let's become a retail provider. Number two, let's admit that our bandwidth is limited. We don't have unlimited bandwidth in terms of intellect, time, energy, skills, success. We don't. We have limitations on the degree in which we can be the best of the rest. So let's focus on the things we can be the best at, the things that we can have the greatest impact at. I didn't go to school to be a finance director. I didn't go to school to be a billing manager. I have a revolving front door at my front desk. They stay 6, 8, 10 months, 12 months, and it starts all over again. They're coming in asking for more and more money. I'm pulling my hair out. I don't have hair to lose. These are the current day struggles. It's a new tomorrow. We need to recognize that. What used to be a $14, $15, $16 an hour position in some places is $25, $26, $23, $20, even $18 to just work the front desk. Handle the calls. Oh my gosh. The cancellations, the no-shows. Being diligent, working that list. Keeping the stats. Like literally selling the patient on the value of the services that they're going to receive here in our practice. There is a degree of that goes on at that front desk. Is there attention there, or is there attention on getting that insurance verified, getting that reauthorization, rebooking that patient who just left a message on the machine that they're not coming in, or having a bad hair day? It's challenging. I know. I get it. And you're just trying to provide good therapy care. You just want to treat your patients. Are you treating too much? Are you stepping in too much? Are you doing too much? Let's make sure that we have your work-life balance in check. And it doesn't happen if you are stretching yourself too thin, being the DIYer. I'm going to be the biller. I'm going to be the billing supervisor. I'm going to be the recruitment manager. I'm going to be the personnel director. I'm going to be the front desk administrator, the office manager. I'm going to coach them, train them. I'm going to, do the performance evaluation. I'm going to. What if you outsourced everything that wasn't clinically direct? Direct clinically related is what I meant to say. Misspoke there. What if you had a group that could oversee your front desk, provide them, train them, professionally enhance them, pay their raises, pay their vacation, pay their time off, handle their bad hair days, report to you every month what's good, what's bad, what can be improved, how things can go better? That's what we do. That's what our virtual front desk services focus on. Not just providing the person to do the work, but providing the oversight, supervision, management of that person doing the work. Same thing with billing. Man, if I was back running my clinic and I didn't have to do those two things, and I could just have DPTs, PTs, and tech, that's the progressive PT private practice model. Are you ready to embrace the new tomorrow? If so, reduce your payroll. Reduce your payroll. Your payroll has to be under 50%, 55% at best of your total expense, your total GI. It's got to be below half of your bills, right? Your rent needs to be less than 10% of your total GI per month or per year, however you want to look at it. So there's a couple metrics that you could really hone in on that's going to make a difference in your bottom line. If it's a new tomorrow, we really have to focus on changing that paradigm, outsourcing everything that's not clinic related, embracing the progressive PT private practice model where you're just focusing on DPTs, PTs, and techs. And let's look at the compensation package for our clinicians. Let's do pay for performance. Not pay as you go, not faster you run, the more you make, but let me pay you and reward you for your performance, your success, your quality of care, your clinical efficiency, and the volume of care you give with each and every session. Those are the three things that makes a great therapist. Let's send that message. Let's have a compensation package that rewards that, not a shared risk model. They don't want to share your risk. Let's do that, right? Number 3, branding. What message are you sending to your public that you're in business for? You're not in business to be a referral depot. Like, I'm only interested in people walking around with a script. You got to have a 3-minute video infomercial on your website where people can connect with you like I'm trying to connect with you. Like I'm telling you, there's 2 types of leaders. There's dictator leaders that are like generals and presidents and, heads of state, that it's all about them. Or there's leaders like I strive to be, and I want you to strive to be, which is a guidance counselor leader. A guidance counselor is, how many students can I help find the profession that is their livelihood and gives them the ideal work-life balance for their life? How many people can I lift up in my life? How many people can I encourage to live a better life with greater economic stability and greater time flexibility? Because those 2 things equal freedom. That's my commitment to you. I want to live a life of servitude. How many more people can I serve without expecting something in return? It's all about exchanging abundance to your public. What have you done to build a brand that people come in and say, man, they leave it all on the field? It's not about taking a number and following protocol, and this is our policy. It's about bending over backwards and ensuring that people are getting an experience that they can't get elsewhere. How are you able to look in the mirror and say that to yourself? That should be your brand. That is public relations. Now, what vehicles, what mechanisms are you using to get that message out? 65% of all your evals should be return business. Patients who've been here before, friends, family members, coworkers, peers of patients who've been here before. Let them wear your jersey and send your message. It won't be such a heavy lift to fill your doors and keep your people busy. So, number 4, your people, your culture. This, I don't know if it's the most important, but I think all of these kind of ride on the same playing field. My people are everything to me. My CEO has been with me 20 years. I have other staff members been here 17 years, 12 years, 10 years. I mean, that's longevity. What are we doing here that's making people stay so long and giving them that financial stability and that excitement to come to work, that fun? Believe me, it's hard. I mean, my life is coaching calls day in and day out. People just like you calling in. I don't charge anything for those coaching calls. They're free. All my Meg Academy clients, all my Meg people, they're free. As many 15, 20-minute calls as they want. They want to talk about, hey, Brian, help me lay out the clinic. Hey, Brian, how do I get in network with these things? How do I get credentialing here? How do I, run the formula to know what my net margins are on my services? What cash-based services should I lean into and why? We go through all those things. I help people work through all those challenges. Brian, what's the 5-phase hiring program? And how is it I can close 85% of the applicants? Because I'm currently losing 85% of the applicants. How do I get people to look at my practice to want to send a resume in? What do I need to do differently and say differently in my ad that attracts more eyeballs to my practice, to wanting to work here? Yeah, let's talk about that. I think the most important thing when you talk company culture is staff retention. I think staff retention is so overlooked. You don't have to hire more people if you keep the good people you got. You just don't need to go out there as much. Let me help you with that. Or find somebody who can help you with that. Find the secret sauce on building that company culture. What 3 things are you doing on a monthly basis that is just for the benefit of your staff? That's just personally and professionally enhancing your staff. That's what you need to learn. That's what you need to have in your company. That, to me, is what you're all about. That's what makes you the best leader for others. Lead them by mentoring them and ensuring that your staff is growing both professionally and personally. So that's my message this week. I can give you the specifics and we can put a wrench on it and turn those hard nuts so that you actually have the wheels working and the mechanics running. Everything you do in your practice is logistics. But if you don't have vision, you don't have the concept, you don't put it into actual practice, and you don't know how to go through the sequence of actions, the 27 steps to opening up a private practice, I have that so hardwired. If you're ready to go from employee to employer, I can help you. We have success, 99.9% of all of our startups have been successful, make it to their 3rd year anniversary profitable. I can help you with that. Or find somebody who can help you with that. It's not about us. It's about you. Support, guidance, culture, growth, development. It's a new tomorrow, everybody. Let's get with the program. It's not about chasing down the people walking around with referrals. It's about making a difference with the people who live within your community. The doctor resources go an hour drive out from your front door. The patients go 30-minute drive out from your front door. What are you doing to target those markets? Because that's what it's all about. That's what I want for you. So it's a new Meg. It's a new podcast. It's new YouTube. As you can tell, I'm going to be giving you lists, strategies, applicable action steps that you can do to solve specific challenges. There's never problems. There are only challenges in thriving as a private practice owner, not just getting by. I know a lot of you are struggling out there. I know the financial impacts being felt. I do. I know, whether it be inflation or reduced reimbursement or the challenges in finding somebody. I can help you with that, but I can only help you if I hear from you. So that's that. That's my message. I don't want to turn into solicitation and sales. I just want you to know it does exist. You can diversify your practice. You can be 20% cash, 80% insurance collections. You can be a hybrid practice that's thriving. Let's talk about how we can do that in your area where you live, in your market with the staff you have, or maybe we need to upgrade the level of care and the level of staff that you're actually attracting. And let me show you how to do that. So that's it, everybody. Enjoy what you learned in this week's podcast and write in, ask questions. I'm here to help. Call me. I'm here to help. And next week, we're going to take several other topics week after week, and we're going to break them down and give you action plans so that you can have personal growth ideas and professional tips for success. That's it. Expect to do well. Start each and every day with 5 things you're grateful for. That's my message. Take care.